Hope you're all well. Can I say thank you for the guys that actually said get well soon. It's a little bit better today, but I'm still struggling saying certain words. So again, I'll apologise for the mumbles. So today is Ladies' Day on RTO, and I've picked two really good single artists today. So this morning we'll be looking at British English songwriter and dancer, record producer, the amazing Kate Bush. Now with Kate Bush you either love her or hate her. There's no in between here. I love Kate Bush. I like all her albums. Got every album. There is not a bad album. But I do obviously like ones more than the others. And so if yours is not at the top, I don't mind. You know, we all got different ideas how we like listening to Kate Bush, but we all like Kate Bush, and that's the main thing. So, Kate Bush, CBE no less, born in 1958. She actually started writing songs at the age of 11. She was signed to EMI Records after Mr. David Gilmour helped her produce a demo tape, and he helped her produce her debut album. She disappeared for a few years, and then she come back, and strong as ever as far as I'm concerned. So she's released 10 studio albums, so let's have a look at them. Okay then, coming in at number 10, we have the 7th album that came out in 1993, The Red Shoes. There's always lots of people that play on her albums. So I'm just... notable ones on this one are Gary Brooker, Eric Clapton. Her brother Paddy Bush plays on most of her albums, and we have Nigel Kennedy, Lenny Henry appears on this, Prince, and Jeff Beck. First track is Rubber Band Girl, my favourite track on the album. I like this quirkiness to this track. It's got a really catchy melody. It's got a nice hook as well. Right, nice track. I love that track. Then we get And So Is Love. Now this one is very ambient, and it's got a great guitar solo for Mr. Eric Clapton. So it's not too bad, is it? Eat the Music. This is a quirky number again. It's got a nice melody. Very pleasant song. Moments of Pleasure, it's a little bit repetitive, but I love the piano and strings and Kate's voice. The Song of Solomon, it's okay, it's not one of my favourite songs. Lily, this is an interesting arrangement. It's got drum machines on it, but it works okay, it's not too bad. Then we get the title song, The Red Shoes. I like the mandolin start on this. It's quirky tune. Very good track. Top of the City, another of those nice songs that Kate's done. Piano, little bit of drum machine in there. It's alright. Constellation of the Heart. It's okay. Solid enough song. Why Should I Love You? This has got Jeff Beck on it. Very good. And You're the One, another really good song. There's some really good tracks on this one. Too much use of the drum machines on this, which I'm not very happy. But it's a good album, and I like listening to it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming at number 9, we have the 9th album released in 2010. This is the director's cut. Basically, it's songs from the Sensual World and the Red Shoes that have either been remixed or reconstructed. and it was their first album since 2005. So on here we've got Kate Bush, Paddy Bush, Gary Brooker's on here again, and loads of other people's. Flower of the Mountain, it's the Sensual World has just got full of sound, really good. Song of Solomon, this sounds a lot better than on the Red Shoes, but I'll do both versions of okay. Then there's Lily, Deep Understanding, the Red Shoes, The Woman's Work, Moments of Pleasure, Never Be Mine, Top of the City, and So I Use Love, and Rubber Band. Some of the tracks don't sound much different. It's a pretty good little listen for a rehash of stuff. But I do like the tracks from Red Shoes. There's not so much of the drum machine that's been taken out and a proper drums put in. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 8. We have the 6th album, released in 1989, The Sensual World. Notables on here is Kate Bush and Paddy Bush, David Gilmour, Nigel Kennedy, the violinist, and Robert Bush, Dr. Robert Bush, who does some dialogue on track 3, who's Kate's dad. Sensual World opens up this album. I love this song. I love them church bells. It's a lovely vocal from Kate. I love that track. Love and Anger, some nice guitar riffs in this one, and it just, Kate's voice as ever, strong. Love it. The Fog, very interesting percussion on this. Obviously it's got her dad talking on it. I like the flute in it. It's got really good sound. She knows how to produce a really good song, does Kate. Excellent stuff. Excuse me. Reaching Out, very good vocal from Kate on this. The piano and the strings just work well together. I love these tracks where it's just Kate, piano and some strings. Very, very good track. Hence We're Dancing, unusual arrangement, but she's got this knack of getting different sounds, different ambience and textures, and making it into a really good song. Deep Understanding, it's okay. It's not one of my favourite songs on the album, but it's still listenable. Between the Man and a Woman, great arrangement, some nice different ambient sounds on this and textures. Great vocal from Kate. Never Be Mine, what a bass line on this, really deep. You can hear this all through the track. It sort of goes back into the background and then comes into the foreground again. It is a very, very good track. Rocket's Tale, my favourite track on this album. It's quite rocky. Kate's got this very versatile voice, and it's got some great guitar work on it. Fantastic. The Woman's Work, this is piano and Kate singing. Wonderful. I can listen to them sort of tracks all day. Walk Straight Down the Middle, bit of one of the weaker tracks on the album, but it's still listenable. Again, brilliant album. I can't fault any of these albums really. It's just a shame I can't have them all at number 1, but it'd be a rather boring ranking show. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.9. Okay then, coming in at number 7, we have the 10th and most current album, released on 21st of November 2011, 50 Words for Snow. On here, Elton John's on here, Stephen Fry. So it's got some interesting people, lots of other interesting people as well. It's too many to mention. So the first track is called Snowflake. Okay, it's a nice song, but it's a little bit too long. It's 9 minutes. It sort of loses itself, but it's still a good song. But it just goes on a bit too long, in my opinion. But I still like it. Lake Tahoe, again, a very nice song. This is 11 minutes long, but again, it's too long for this sort of arrangement she does. Again, it should, you know, at 5 or 6 minutes, it just starts repeating itself. Sorry about that, folks. Then we get Misty. Now, this is a long track, but I like this one because the arrangement changes. It's got a bit more feel to it. It's an excellent track. Wild Man. Again, this is where you've got Kate doing unusual sounds and textures again. It just adds to the track. Snowed In Wheeler Street. I love this track. My favourite on the album. It's a little bit eerie, and I love Kate's vocal on this. Excellent track, and what you got the added value on this, you've got Elton John on it, and he really adds to this track. His vocal and his piano playing, it's really good. 50 words for Snow. It's weird. A lot of spoken voice on this, which is I think is Mr. Stephen Fry as Professor Joseph Ukip. But it's very good. Having Stephen's vocal, he's speaking on it, and Stephen Fry's an absolute diamond. He's a bit of a hero. Whatever he talks on is great, fantastic. Then Among Angels, it's another one of those Kate piano strings, great song. Although the first 3 tracks on this album are pretty long, they could have been a little bit shorter, but don't take it away from this album because it is a fantastic album. It was a strong comeback. We hadn't heard of her from 2005. She just disappeared off the map. Came out with this album, brilliant album, and there was a live album to go with this, and that is superb. We will be looking at that, trust me. And it's an excellent album, and I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. It's quite mellow. It's one of them Sunday afternoon albums, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 6, we have the 8th album. It's a double album released in 2005. It's 12 years since the Red Shoes album of 1993, Ariel. Some notables on here. Paddy Bush is on backing vocals. Gary Brooker's back on the Hammond organ. And backing vocals, the one and only Mr. Lol Creme from 10cc. Now this is a 2-disc thing. Disc 1 is titled Sea of Honey. First track on it is called King of the Mountain. It's very ambient. I love these ambient atmospheric tracks that Kate does. Really, really good track. Then we get Pie, as in P-I, not pie that we eat. Solid track, nice catchy melody, and Kate's vocal on it is superb. Bertie, it's got this medieval sort of harpsichord sound on it. It's a bit of a Renaissance sort of track. I love it. I love that sort of music. It's a really good track. Then we get Mrs. Bartolozzi. Again, I know I keep saying it, but I just love listening to the piano, Kate, and there's some nice little harmony overdubs of her vocals. Brilliant track. How to Be Invisible. Love this song. Very catchy tune. Got some nice delicate guitar on this. It's my favourite track on the album, and I play that track a lot. Then we got Joannie. One of those really interesting songs from Kate. Again, with them different textures and layers of sound. Such a great arranger of sound and music. Fantastic track. A Coral Room. Just Kate on the piano, lovely. Then we get the second disc, and it's called A Sky of Honey. Now this is one track, but it's split into little sections. So the first piece is called Prelude. It's just got lots of noise of sounds and cooing of doves. Nice intro. Then we get Prologue. Wonderful. The piano work on that is just amazing. It is such an atmospheric track. Then Architect's Dream. delicate touches on the guitar, some wonderful string arrangements through this. The bass line is really good, it's rich, it oozes through the track all the time, fantastic. And then we get the Painter's Link. It's just a nice little short piece of music with some nice vocals, fantastic. Sunset, very jazzy feel to this. You can hear Gary Brooker in this one. His Hammond organ is good, his backing vocal is terrific, really complements Kate's vocals. Then we get Aerial Tool or Aerial Towel sounds. Again, lots of nice little keyboards. Somewhere in between, good track. Gary Brooker's on this again. Well, you know, he's sadly missed. He played on so many good songs, and this is one of them. Nocturne, really good. You can definitely hear Lol Krem's backing vocals on this. Love that track, very ambient. Aerial itself, great way to end this piece. Very nice layers and textures, real hooky to it. Got a nice guitar riff, but very delicate at the same time. This album is really solid. Even with this ambitious 40 odd minute track, A Sky of Honey. To me, it is very, very progressive. Pre-progressive, pro-progressive. It's really good. It's a great album, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay then, coming in at number 5, got the second album released in 1978 called Lionheart. This features lots of people again, but some notables. Brothers back on here, and Francis Monkman from Sky plays harpsichord and Hammond organ. First track on here is Symphony in Blue, really good song. I like the arrangement in this. It's got such delicate, soulful sound. Great vocal from Kate. In the Search of Peter Pan, another great track. Love the piano work on this. Kate's voice sounds brilliant on this. Love that one. Then we get a classic from Kate, Wow. What can you say about Wow? It's just a brilliant song. My favourite song on the album, of course. Don't push your foot on the heartbreak. Really good song. I love the harpsichord from Francis Monkman. I'm a big fan of Sky when he was in the band. I'm going to do some stuff on Sky because I just love Francis Monkman. Great pianist. Again, then we get England. Oh England, my Lionheart. Great Hammond organ here and harpsichord from Francis again, and it really adds to the track, and Kate's voice on this is superb as usual. Full House, love the guitar work in this. Piano, this is quite proggy, that's probably why I like it. In the Warm Room, one of those great Kate and piano songs. Kashka from Baghdad, interesting arrangement again, but what dominates this is the piano and vocal of Kate. Coffee Home Ground, this reminds me of something that Sparks would do. It's lots of different instruments, lots of different sounds and textures. Love it, absolutely brilliant for its time. This is where I struggle. Hammer Horror, nice track with lots of strings and guitars. Solid album, top to bottom, great tracks. It is so hard to rank these albums because they are all of good quality and as good as each other. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay then, coming in at number 4, we have the fourth album released in 1982, The Dreamin'. We've got some interesting people on this one again. We've got Kate Bush, Paddy Bush, Jeff Downs, Asia Boggles, yes, Mr. Jimmy Bain, Rainbow and Dio. There's someone on here we can't mention, but all I'll say that he plays a didgeridoo on it. So the first track on this is the brilliant Sat in Your Lap. What a track. It's unique, isn't it? I love the vocal. I love them. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just great. Every time I even look at it, all I can hear is that in my head. Lovely track. There goes a tenor. It's an aggressive sort of ambient sound, and she's singing like a punk rocker. It's great. Fantastic track. Really different from what she normally does. Pull Out the Pin. One of the weird and wonderful tracks coming out of what is a genius of Kate Bush. It's hard to explain this one. It's just got a really nice percussion with it, and the ambient sounds and the layers. Very well put together track. Suspended in Gaffer. Lovely piano on this. Just a very quirky track. Gets your foot tapping a little bit. Leave It Open. Love this. Again, you just got some really nice drums on this. Nice arranged vocal arrangements. Very different. Very clever. The Dreaming. Well, what can you say? It's brilliant. And this has got the didgeridoo on it. It just adds to an element to the track. Pity we can't mention who plays it. Night of the Swallow, very Celtic. Got some Iain pipes on this. I know it's not. I've not pronounced it properly, but I can't pronounce it properly because it's too sore. But it's definitely got a Celtic feel. Really good track. All the Love. Nice bass line, great piano, very relaxing, chill out track. Houdini, again, it's just got bass, piano and Kate, terrific. Get Out of My House. Now this is one of the few tracks I don't like by Kate Bush. Again, more brilliance, diverse arrangements. Her voice is brilliant on this album. Such a great album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.2. Okay, coming in number 3, we got the third album, released in 1980. Again, this has got so many people on it. It's got a brother on it, and then loads of people. So the first track on this one is the brilliant Babushka. Love this. Really good. I love the chorus. Great song. Second track is Dulis Song of Summer. It's got a drum machine on it, but it's used in a great way. She's a savvy woman. She knows how to use it properly, and the keyboards work round it. It's a really good track. Blow Away for Bill. This is quite a gentle song with some nice harmonies, but the strings are really good on it. Great arrangement. All We Ever Look For. She comes up with some belter songs, and here's this one. Again, it's got lots of keyboard layers, sound effects, doors opening, background, adds to the track. Unbelievable. Egypt. It's got some lovely flute work on this. I love this. The Wedding List, proggy pop, I'm going to call this. Nice harmonica, just got really good track, feel good track. Don't know if there's such thing as proggy pop, but if it is, I've just invented it. Violin, it's exactly what it is. It's a bit of a rock track with violin. Really good. The Infant Kiss. Beautiful song. Strings, piano, and Kate. What more do you need? Night Scented Stock. This is very short. It's just a very short piece of Kate harmonising a voice and overdubs. Very clever. And the album, next track, Army Dreamers. The harpsichord and strings are brilliant on this. Love that track. And then we end up, the album ends up with a fantastic Breathing. Again, what can you say about that track except it is brilliant. Great album. Play this one a lot. It is just superb. You can put it on any time and just go away with the fairies with this. I do enjoy this album, so I'm going to give this an RTO out ranking of 9.3. Okay then, coming in at number 2 we have the debut album, 17th of February 1978, The Kick Inside. Just seeing who's on here because there's loads of people on this again. Produced by David Gilmour, of course. David Payton, bass player that turned up with Fish, he's on here. Maurice Pert, percussionists on here. Very, very good bunch of people. Moving, first track. It's dominated by David Payton's bass line. Terrific track, love it. The saxophone song, well, yes, it's got lots of saxophone on in it, of course, but it's weird and wonderful, and I do like it. Strange Phenomena, nice atmospheric track. Some really good guitar work on this. Fantastic track, it's very ambient. Then we get Kite. I love this track. It was the B-side of Wuthering Heights as well. I love the funky sound on it, really good. Then we get a beautiful song. It is, of course, it's The Man with the Child in His Eyes. Classic stuff. Then we get the brilliant, of course, Wuthering Heights. Again, what can you say about this track? It was, I remember this coming out on Top of the Pops, and it blew me away. What a voice. And I've been hooked ever since. Then we get James and the Cold Gun. Nice quirky piano start to this. Great bass from David Payton. What a good bass player is. Nice little sort of rock track that is. Feel It. Another one of those great piano intros with Kate at the piano. I love it. Oh to Be in Love. There's lots of these bass, piano and Kate with brass on this one in the middle. Just really adds to that track. Fantastic. L'amour Looks Something Like You. Again, we've got more of this piano bass. Lots of these on this track, on this album, and this is another fine This is another fine example of how talented this young lady was. I mean, she was only 18 when she done this. Brilliant stuff. Then we get Them Heavy People, another classic track from Kate. Just love the arrangement on that. Room for Life. What a guitar solo on this. It's just a really strong track, and that guitar solo adds to it. The title track, Kick Inside, brilliant track. Beautiful vocal from Kate. Love the piano and the strings working well together. Well, what a debut album. It's fantastic. It's just one of my favourite albums. Lots of piano orientated music on this, and it's just wonderful to listen to. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.4. Okay then, my number 1, not very hard to work out. 5th album from 1985 is the fantastic Hounds of Love. Just an album that oozes quality, and I say this is when Kate was really at her peak. Opens up with the brilliant Running Up That Hill. Classic track, great arrangement, that quirky sound, I just love it. Can't get enough of that track. Hounds of Love. Strong vocal from Kate. Love the drum sound in this. Great textures. Fantastic. Again, there's so many people on this album playing. There's too many to mention. The big sky, very got an African vibe to this. The African sounding drums, really good, very uplifting track. One of my favourites. Mother stands for comfort. This is very ambient, very gentle and relaxing. Great stuff. Then we got my favourite song ever by Kate Bush, Cloud Bursting. Wonderful lyrics, wonderful song, and of course it's got a great video in this featuring Donald Sutherland, I do believe. Then we get and Dream of Sheep. Got everything on here. You've got that great piano work from Kate. You've got the lovely vocal from her. A little bit of guitar just oozes through this track. Under Ice, the strings on this are wonderful. It adds to this ambient sound and the eerie vocal from Kate. Waking the Witch, it's got a mix of stuff in it. Great guitar riffs, church bells, lots of sound effects. Really good track. Watching You Without Me, another good track. It's very post-progressive. Love the textures on this, fantastic. Jig of Life, it's got that Celtic feel to it, this one. It's just lots of jiggy sort of Celtic music, brilliant. Hello Earth, this is a belter. Starts off with piano, then it goes through the track, and then you got like this Welsh male choir in the track. Very, very good. And the last track is The Morning Fog. Another ambient track, lots of acoustic guitars in this. It's a fantastic way to end the album. This is an amazing album. It's almost a post-progressive concept album. I don't think it is a concept album, but the way it's structured, it's very conceptual. The songs flow, and it's one of the best albums from the 80s without a doubt. With all the rock music going on and the production wasn't one, Kate just carried on what she's good at. There's none of that 80s feel to this, although it's an 80s album. The production on this is superb, and I listen to this a lot. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, I got through that one. Oh, there was a few struggles. Any word beginning with W really is hard to say at the moment. So I'll be back later with a retro ranking of American singer, writer, rock lady extraordinaire Miss Pat Benatar. So join for that later. And I'll see you later. Bye for now.